Are you interested in effortlessly growing your Bitcoin portfolio? I sure am. The Bitcoin credit card by Gemini earns you Bitcoin back on every purchase. Use it like any credit card. Buy lunch, gas, or your weekly groceries, and you'll earn up to 4% back instantly in Bitcoin or one of over 50 other cryptos straight to your account. All that with no annual fee, and right now you can grab a $200 Bitcoin welcome bonus. It's the easiest way to start building your Bitcoin stack. Go to Gemini.com/card to learn more. Terms apply. See the link in the description for more information regarding rates and fees.
Always follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss, Paulie Howard with you. We're live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Big program lined up today. A great night of sports following an amazing weekend of sports. And we have super solid guests, as always. Nick Whalen in 30 minutes. His look at the Monday Night Football doubleheader. Warren Sharp in 90. His best bets for tonight as well. Reaction from Week 7 that we watched yesterday. Ira Kaufman has covered the Buccaneers for a long time. We got to get the lowdown on these injuries for Tampa Bay playing at Detroit tonight. We have a Game 7 of the ALCS, Paulie. This is absolutely fascinating. And I don't want to overreact, but that game yesterday afternoon in Denver takes the cake. You can have your Arizona blowing the game to Tennessee. You can have Green Bay blowing the game to the Cleveland Browns. You can have the Green Bay-Dallas tie. I got the entire list of all the crazy, wacky games. Buffalo-Baltimore week 1. It was so bonkers yesterday that I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything from this game. And I went back and I watched the entire fourth quarter this morning, and I paused the game just so I knew that I wasn't going to miss anything with the notes. That's how wild it was. And the improbability factor there for the Giants to blow that game in Denver, win it, completely off the charts. The Giants led 19-0 in the fourth quarter and 26-8. And at this point in the game,
5:30 left.
Paul.
5:30 left, 26-8.
I'm telling you right now, go back and watch it today, whatever, if you can this week. The Broncos were not playing with a sense of urgency, down 26-8. And I watched the entire game yesterday. I'm like, did I miss something here? Because what the hell? How did that happen? And it's like they were just ho-hum, 3rd and 11. Are we going to pick this up? Game's over. We'll walk out of here with a loss. And I guess we'll have to recoup and pick things up here, pick up the pieces after this disastrous performance is all over with.
Yep. And plenty of fans left, and I don't blame them. And the game was over until Dart threw the interception. And he had a fantastic game, but that's one where he made a rookie mistake, and that opened the floodgates and allowed Denver to come back with that horrible interception. But you go back 1,602-0 when teams led by 18-plus in the fourth quarter. And there's your one. How about this? Denver has been down 14-plus in the fourth quarter twice and won. That's only happened 3 other times. We're not even halfway through the season, and they've done it twice.
Yeah.
So between Peyton losing his mind, running out on the field at the end, everything worked out with how that ended. You thought they were going to lose the game there as well, which I know you'll get to coming up. But you're right about the how improbable it was from an in-play standpoint to be getting shut out, and then you score 33 fourth quarter points. I mean, the Giants were just devastated and couldn't even put any thoughts together afterwards about how they were stunned and let one get away.
Can you imagine what that flight was like last night?
Not a word.
Oh, my God.
How do you say a word after that?
You can't. You can't.
The kicker probably has to hide, too.
Well, he had to catch a Frontier flight back, I think,
Yeah.
from the rest of the team. So, again, what you said there, by the way, that's the most of all time. 33 points in the fourth quarter when you were held scoreless through 3 quarters. Most of all time history of the league. So, to get the whole thing, though, and how absurd that entire fourth quarter was, don't forget about the deflected pass that resulted in a 41-yard touchdown for the Giants. That was with 10-14 left in the game. So that's when they went up 26-8, and they're coasting, and they're laughing and they're celebrating on the sideline. Then Denver, again, this is what I'm talking about. It's a 3rd and 5 with 8:36 left at their own 42. I'm telling you, folks, there was no urgency at all to the offense. At that point, they were 2 of 10 on 3rd downs. Back up a minute. They're actually backed up at this point. It's a 3rd and 11 for the Broncos eventually, later on in the drive, with 7:12 left in the game. 3rd and 11, 7:12 left. It's 4th down, under 7 to play. Clock is running. Then Brian Burns got hurt with 6:40 to go. There was a PI on the Giants after an incomplete pass on 4th down, and Bo Nix finally ran in the score with 5:13 left. 2-point conversion was good. That made it 26-16. The broadcast on the game, the color guy, I don't remember who it was, he was doing it with Kevin Harlan, said, now it's all of a sudden a 10-point game with 5 minutes left. It's not unheard of.
The Trent Green?
It might have been Trent Green.
Okay, yeah.
So this was the brilliant part of what Sean Payton elected to do. On the following drive by the Giants, he started taking his timeouts. And the Giants were going super conservative, but that's before the 3rd down and 5, Jackson Dart, inexplicable INT. Never saw the defender. And as the game was tilting already the other way, that completely flipped it because the Broncos then had the ball in the red zone with 4:47 to go. More things had to happen. There was a 3rd and 5 for the Broncos. I told you how inept they were yesterday on 3rd downs. Offsides on the Giants.
God.
1st down, TD, couple plays later, 26-23, now 3:51 to play. The next drive for New York. Up by 3. Mm-hmm. Rush, Denver timeout, incomplete pass, punt. You want to talk about going into prevent offense in the 4th quarter? That was despicable what that team did. Horrible job by Brian Daboll late.
Why did Scadaboo go over his prop by early 2nd quarter and they didn't throw him another pass the rest of the game?
Befuddling.
What was that all about? Because that was there early on.
It was.
Just give him the screen stuff. And
Sure.
and he also ran well, and they mixed in a little Tracy. He had the touchdown, but that was bizarre play calling, I thought.
So then the Broncos get the ball back. Don't forget, they're facing 3rd down and 11. Huge completion. Marvin Mims, 31 yards. Drive is alive. Denver eventually went 68 yards in less than a minute. That's after, again, back-to-back drives by the Giants going super conservative with the offensive play calling in less than a minute to score the go-ahead touchdown. I'm thinking, well, they scored too soon, right? 1:51 left in that neighborhood. The Giants then get the ball back. They have a 3rd and 19, followed by a 4th and 19 at their own 26. They took the delay of game on 3rd and 14, by the way, to make it a 3rd and 19. Dart easily could have been picked off in the 3rd and 19 pass. But then he completes it to Robinson, and there's roughing the passer on Denver. The next pass should have been picked off again, but 2 Broncos defenders collided with each other. The Giants then have it 3rd and 10, 40 seconds left. Dart goes to the end zone, incomplete, but hold on a second. You know you're going to get some shenanigans here from the refs. 2 things. Good job, though, by why not throw it to the goal line? Because if you're going to get PI, you're going to have it 1st and goal at the 1. But also, that was a very questionable call for the referees to decide the game potentially there.
I agree.
Then, Dart scores on the next play. The referees ruled that Dart was down, and they kept fighting it. Like, no, we score. They actually wanted him to be ruled down.
They win the game if he's marked down at the 1.
I totally agree.
Yeah, they're going to win the game. There's not enough time.
But little did they know, okay, they're going to change the call on the field, touchdown, and then the place kicker who's out there because of Graham Gano's injury trots out there, misses his 2nd extra point of the day. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now there's clearly way too much time left. You're playing in Mile High City. You got 30-plus seconds left. And this guy can make it from 60-plus yards. You make 1 completion, maybe 2, and that's pretty much what happened.
You can't give that up, though. A 29, that wasn't even intended for Mims.
No, it was not.
It just went right to him. It was somebody else. You can't have Mims, and the other guy was open too. But it falls right in his lap for 30 yards. And then you jump off sides again, and then he hits Sutton, and then it's just ball game. I mean, at that point, he becomes a chippy from 39 yards. It was awful how they handled that. The whole quarter defensively. It's a nightmare.
Sure.
And that's why Daboll's probably got to go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that's improbable. It's never happened before. You just can't. You can't give up 33 points when they haven't done anything, and you stop them, and you come back and score, and you give it right back.
Sure.
It's horrific.
They had 8 points the Broncos did midway through the 4th quarter, and they weren't even trying to win the game. And the Giants just said, are you sure you don't want to win this game? Because we're about to give it to you. And think about this. There was one entry at Circa Grandissimo, $100,000 entry on Denver. What do you do if you're that person or if you're that group?
You have to follow him. You have to track him like L.A. Jones. When L.A. Jones ended up winning and he didn't know he was still alive and his proxy had to point out because he entered the wrong team on accident. and he thought he was out with the Thanksgiving game. You have to track this and see if this person continues, because it's a free roll now. You're done. You have no business being in this contest. And I thought palm readers and other people were involved in regular Circa Survivor. I mean, it's just, how many lives and how many breaks can you catch here?
Well, we're looking at 400 plus on Denver getting whacked in the regular Circa Survivor, and then 100 and some on Green Bay, combined almost 600. And they both come back to win the game. Also, don't forget, I mean, do you even watch the second half if you're that, or the fourth quarter? If you have that entry? If you have that entry on the Broncos?
No, you shut the game off. I left the game. Of course you had to leave the game. The Dallas game was wild. The Packer game was crazy. There's too much other stuff going on. You gave up on the game. The game's over. They're not coming back.
I kept it on. I kept my eyes on that
They
game.
wouldn't put them away.
No, they couldn't.
They couldn't put them away with all that, with how well they moved the ball on offense, and still they went in prevent mode, and they couldn't really put them away, like in terms of like 28-0, 27-0, and then the missed extra points left the door open.
Paulie, I'll give you another one too. That is a kick to the stomach, because they have a very difficult schedule remaining for people who bet the Giants over 5.5 wins. That game is banked in your mind.
Yeah.
But now they still got to get 4 against that schedule.
How do they turn around now and get ready for Philly?
Great question.
This is, we talked about yesterday on the pregame show with the tailgate show. You're thinking it's not crazy, even though the schedule's difficult, but you're thinking playoffs if you win this game.
What I was watching yesterday, that team could do some serious damage.
I mean, no one has done that to Denver's defense. Denver had the best defense in all these categories and numbers that we ran off, and they're getting whatever they wanted, even without key players. So you beat Philly, you beat the Chargers, and you beat these guys.
Right?
It's not crazy to think playoffs if you get out of there with a W.
Absolutely not. And their odds, by the way, during that game and in the fourth quarter, they were dropping to win the division. I took a little bit on the division when they looked amazing in the first 3.5 quarters. And then, sorry, guys. Monday Night Football doubleheader is coming up next. This dude has been nails after a loss. We're talking straight up and against the spread. I'll tell you who it is next.
Are you interested in effortlessly growing your Bitcoin portfolio? I sure am. The Bitcoin credit card by Gemini earns you Bitcoin back on every purchase. Use it like any credit card. Buy lunch, gas, or your weekly groceries, and you'll earn up to 4% back instantly in Bitcoin or one of over 50 other cryptos straight to your account. All that with no annual fee, and right now you can grab a $200 Bitcoin welcome bonus. It's the easiest way to start building your Bitcoin stack. Go to Gemini.com/card to learn more. Terms apply. See the link in the description for more information regarding rates and fees.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We head out to the Progressive guest line now to talk about tonight's Monday Night Football doubleheader and reaction to Week 7 games that took place yesterday. As Warren Sharp joins the program now. You can follow him on X. He's at Sharp Football, and the website is sharp.football. Warren, good to talk to you again. As always, thanks for the time. We appreciate that. We were just talking about Week 8 numbers in the previous half hour here before you popped on with us. And I said I'm going to probably be all about Atlanta, like on either money line, parlays, or teasers this week, because it's going to be an anti-Miami play. I mean, the Dolphins are just god-awful. But what did you notice last night with Michael Penix and this Falcons team playing on the road?
When we were looking at this game for the Atlanta Falcons going to San Francisco on Sunday Night Football, one of the things that you thought about was they've got a great opportunity here to go up against the San Francisco 49ers team without Fred Warner in the mix. And so they should be able to have some opportunity to score some points. But then there were some concerns about how they performed last time that they went on the road against the Carolina Panthers. And so I started digging into Michael Penix's stats after this last game, when he was on the road in San Francisco. This past game, they dropped back to pass the ball 42 times, and he had just 21 completions, which is obviously not very good. And that helped in the Falcons losing this game. They couldn't stay competitive. They couldn't run the football, and they weren't able to get a lot out of Michael Penix through the air. In his career, when he's been playing on the road, listen to these numbers. Out of 46 qualifying quarterbacks in road games since the start of last season, he ranks dead last in EPA per attempt, 45th in success rate, 40th in yards per attempt at only 5.9. His accuracy is dead last in the NFL. His completion rate is 45th. When he plays in home games, however, He ranks number 4 in EPA per attempt, number 8 in success rate, and his yards per attempt is 8.3, which ranks number 3 in the NFL. His completion rate, his accuracy isn't all that great, but his efficiency and his productivity is really good at home, top 10 numbers, whereas on the road, it quite literally is worse than the NFL. So, Bryce Young falls into some of these splits as well, a younger quarterback who plays poorly on the road. But if the Atlanta Falcons want to take the next step at some point this year, potentially, they have a decent overall record. They're going to have to do it on the road and win some of those road games. Now, as you mentioned, they do play at home against the Miami Dolphins. So there's a great opportunity to get back on track this week at home. But these road appearances have not gone very well for the Atlanta Falcons. And it's just something to put in the back of your mind for the next time that they make a road trip.
Well said. And file that away because, again, chances are they're going to look completely different than last night. Probably beat Miami, maybe cover the game, win by margin. And then after that, they go on the road 2 consecutive weeks and play at the Patriots and at the Colts. So definitely file that away. So the Lions now tonight are up to 6.5 point favorites in this game against Tampa Bay. Emeka Egbuka is cleared to play. Do you have much on this game, Warren, from a betting perspective?
Well, the one key thing to me in this game from a matchup perspective is just what are we going to get out of this Detroit Lions offense? Because I was a little bit disappointed in their strategizing and decision-making. We talked about it last week on Monday's show when they went on the road with the first-year quarterback, John Morton, and they played the Kansas City Chiefs, and they were having a ton of success using play action and passing the football on first down, but they leaned too much into the run game without any efficiency whatsoever. They're in a very similar situation here. Tampa Bay's defense ranks number 11 versus the run, number 27 versus the pass. Tampa Bay's pass defense ranks number 18 when you don't use play action, but ranks number 31 when you do use play action. It seems to me it's cut and dry. You should be passing, not running as much, and you should be using a lot of play action. So if they lean into the play action passing game, I see a lot of targets for Amon-Ra St. Brown in the future. I see fewer rushing attempts for Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery in the future. But this coaching staff talked about working a little bit more David Montgomery in and sticking to the run a little bit. And so I'm not quite sure what their strategy is going to be, but it should be to utilize more play action past the football here with Jared Goff. And against the coverage that he typically faces, a lot of blitzing, which Todd Bowles does like to bring the pressure, and against some man coverage, we should be seeing a lot of Amon-Ra St. Brown targets here, and his props are set high and for a good reason. On the other side of the ball, I'm not really sure what we're going to get out of Emeka Egbuka. All the medical doctors that I follow on X are surprised that he's back this soon. So are we even going to see him in a full capacity? I saw his prop number got posted at 4.5 receptions and immediately was bet towards the under. I think it still might be at 4.5, but the juice was coming in as people were betting the under there. How much are they going to get out of him? Hopefully they don't bring him back too soon because I believe Tampa Bay is on a bye very soon. And so they obviously want to win this game, but they don't want to hurt their star receiver in the process of doing so. So I don't really have a whole lot in this game. I would be looking a little bit maybe because of the way I think the coaching staff should call things and what happened last week's game. John Morton didn't do it this way. I would hope that they lean a little bit more on Jared Goff and lean a little bit less on the run game. So I might be fading some of the Detroit Lions running back props here, but I just don't have a lot of confidence yet in this new offensive coordinator to really stake a strong position in that thought process.
I'm with you on the under. I'm surprised he's playing as well. It could backfire. You put us on this at the start of the season. Fairbairn's on a 14-3 overrun, over 1.5 made field goals. It'd be 15-2, but he missed a long one in Jacksonville. What do you think? That should be a low-scoring game coming up tonight in Seattle.
I agree with you. Look, I think it's going to be hard-pressed for the Houston Texans to make it into the end zone. I don't have a lot of confidence in this passing attack. I know that they're going up against the Seattle Seahawks, and Nico Collins should be in a pretty good position here. But Seattle's defense does like to confuse teams, and I'm not really sure. Sometimes we have seen teams come off of a bye And offensively, they're trying to do too much. They're not really relying on the things that brought them success before. They're introducing new aspects to the offense, and they tend to struggle in those situations. And as a result, I'm not sure what this Houston Texans offense on the road is going to look like, but we do know one thing. CJ Stroud has struggled in the past tremendously against Mike Macdonald's defenses. Now, granted, this was with the Baltimore Ravens, who had a good defense a couple of years ago, but in 2023, they went up against the Baltimore Ravens twice and were embarrassed twice in both of those games. Now, one thing that the Houston Texans do tend to lean on in some of these matchups against the type of defense that Mike Macdonald brings is CJ Stroud ends up throwing it to some of his running backs. I got some stats on that. Against zone, he throws to running backs 18% of the time. Only 6% of the time does he throw against man coverage to running backs. Seattle is a very zone-heavy team. When he's not blitzed, he throws to running backs at 18% of the time versus when he is blitzed, only 6%. Seattle doesn't blitz all that much. Versus Mike Macdonald, he threw to running backs at 16% and 21% in the 2023 season. And in the playoff game, the last time that they played the Baltimore Ravens and Mike Macdonald, Devon Singletary had 6 targets, 5 catches for 48 yards. The key concern here, though, is how are these targets going to be split between the two running backs? You got Woody Marks there, you got Nick Chubb there. Who's going to get the number one targets? Who's going to be utilized a little bit more frequently in the passing game as a receiver out of the backfield? So I see some running back targets in the future for the Houston Texans tonight. I'm just not sure which of the backs is going to be accumulating those targets the most. And one of them, Woody Marks, is targeted at 2.5 receptions plus money to the over. And Nick Chubb is 1.5 plus money to the over. So I actually haven't made either of those bets yet. I like the look at the prop on the field goals. I think that's probably a great look there. But in terms of my second favorite prop, if I'm looking at the Houston Texans, it probably would be to target one of these backs. I just have to do a little bit more research to feel comfortable as to which one I want to target there in the receiving game specifically. I don't think they're going to have a lot of success running the football here against Seattle. And if they try to come out and establish the run on the road, I think that's going to go very poorly for the Houston Texans.
My goodness, those are absolutely phenomenal numbers that you just broke down. And you're right, both players that you mentioned, Marks and Chubb, are plus money to the over, and the yards prop overall, I'm seeing Marks as low as 13.5 might be out there available to grab, and Chubb is as low as 7.5 the way it appears overall for the yards.
Yeah, and that could be another way to look, because the Seattle Seahawks do struggle defending these running back targets. So you might get there with Chubb on only 1 reception and go under your reception count, but he has 1 catch for 10 yards. So that's one way to look at it, because Seattle does fall, I think they're like 9th or 10th worst defense in yards per attempt allowed to running back targets. So that could be an angle to look as well.
Very good. Follow Warren on X at Sharp Football, and the website is sharp.football as well. Love talking to you, Warren. Thanks for the time. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, guys. Good luck.
There you go. And he was on the progressive guest line. Chubb as low as 6.5 at some books, the way it looks.
That's what 4.5 receptions at Buka.
Oh, that's an autoplay to the under, but now I think books also yanked it. They posted it, and now it's like crossed off on the screen. How do you put up 4.5?
Oh,
Even if you lose, you got to make that bet to the under.
Yeah.
The good, the bad, and the ugly from the weekend is up next. This is going to be a lot of fun on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
The good. Pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. The bad.
I've had it with this job. Got no food, got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
And the ugly.
First of all, that's horrible.
Wow, that was the worst piece of crap I've ever seen.
The good, the bad, the ugly, brought to you by SharpPlays.com. Get the latest betting insights and analysis now. SharpPlays.com. The good, this college football season. Number 2, 5, 7, 10, 11, 20, 22, 23, and 25 all lost. And there is a scenario where not all of them, maybe, but Indiana, Vandy, South Florida, Georgia Tech, Virginia, and Texas Tech can make the playoff. That's not crazy. And if Vandy keeps winning, they're going to be in it. And Vandy, the first time, they're 6-1 since 1950, and their first win over LSU since 1990. How about Pavia with the Heisman pose in the end zone? Feeling himself.
Well, we know somebody who's got Pavia. You know the numbers?
No.
300-1?
Is that right?
Oh, yeah, he does quite well if he scoops that thing.
Very good. And Drake May, highest completion percentage in Patriots history. That's saying something, regular season. First quarterback to complete 90% of his passes, have 50 yards rushing and 200 passing in the win. He was great. Also got his clock cleaned after his head hit the turf.
Yeah.
And then got a big ovation from all the Patriot fans that were there. But came right back in. Booty had a touchdown. They look good. So did the Patriots. Big win for May. 3 straight road wins. That's my good.
By the way, I have to say that he can win the MVP.
Yes, he can.
Okay. Yours was college football. My good has been the NFL. I can't get enough of it this year. It's absolutely must-watch television every single week. And look, I am going to be very conservative right now and only give you 1 or maybe 2 games week by week. Week 1, Sunday night game, Bills 41, Ravens 40, right?
Yeah.
We
Awesome.
thought top that game.
Yeah.
Week 2, Cowboys 40, Giants 37 overtime. At the time, we thought, craziest game we're going to get all year, most entertaining. How did it not end in a tie? How the Giants not win the game? Totally bananas. Week 3, Packers said, hold my cheese. 98% win probability against Cleveland in that neighborhood. Browns did nothing the entire game. They lose it outright. Oh, hold on. Because the Rams said to everybody, we're going to put on something here that you've never seen before. And they gave the game away to the Eagles. 33-26. Week 4, Bears blocked the field goal, beat the Raiders 25-24. That night, Packers-Cowboys 40-40 tie.
Yeah.
Week 5, 2 weeks ago, Paul. Rams 26, check that, 49ers 26, Rams 23. They were minus 1,000 to win the game at the 3-yard line. Your Cardinals lost to the Titans 22-21. You ranted for 20 minutes that day on the show saying you've never seen anything like it before. Oh, by the way, that afternoon gave us Buccaneers 38, Seahawks 35. Last week, Bears won another game 25-24. This week, Thursday night, Bengals 33, Steelers 31. I said probably the best primetime game of the entire year.
Mm-hmm.
And then yesterday, Broncos 33, Giants 32. Every week we've been saying that's going to be the craziest finish or the craziest game of the entire year. How does what happened yesterday even get topped? But it will probably in week 8.
Well, good luck with that one, though.
Well, we said that how many
rundown.
times?
I know, great rundown, but that's 33 fourth quarter points after 1,602 consecutive times. Up 18 in fourth quarter, you blow it.
So let me ask you this, and I know you were on the Cardinals in that game on Survivor. What was more improbable, yesterday or that game? Titans to come back and beat Arizona.
Titans.
Oh, I say yesterday.
No. No, you Dart can throw a pick. You can't get a stop. Big plays, penalties, whatever. DeMarcado dropping the ball again, 28-6. Forget it. Tennessee can't move it. We know how bad they are. That was it.
Don't throw the INT if you're Dart.
Yeah.
I have one bad. The Texas Longhorns, despite winning.
Mm-hmm.
This has got to be one of the most overrated preseason number 1 teams we've ever had.
Remember they said that? Oh, Peyton, Eli. Boy, wait till you see Arch. What? Peyton was a top 5 quarterback all time. Eli won 2 Super Bowls. Yeah. Oh, wait till you see Arch. Oh, okay.
I can't wait to turn the channel when Texas pops on. They were outgained by Kentucky 395 to 179. Arch was 12 of 27 for 132 yards. They had 8 first downs to 26 for Kentucky. This team, what?
Yeah,
boy, again, this is a Ponzi scheme here with Texas going into the year.
Yeah, absolutely. My bad. USC and Lincoln Riley. USC has good job, Tim Murray. They've lost 13 of their last 14 in the Central and Eastern time zone. They've lost 11 in a row against top 25 opponents on the road.
Wow.
They look great when they're at home and can beat anybody. You know, they leave the time zone, it's a joke.
Yeah.
And they can't even compete in most of these games. And just when you're ready to buy in, just when you're ready to think the U's back and they're going to do this, Friday night, crazy stuff always happens. in college football. Carson Beck, they come out slow, sloppy right away. 14 rip Louisville, and they're still going to win the game, but Beck throws 4 picks. Maybe that'll help them when they can state their case to the committee about, well, we did the 4 turnovers and we still should have won. Still have a chance to win. That's just terrible. Heisman, bye-bye. And now there's a reality. You could see like SMU or Louisville against Georgia Tech in the ACC title game now. The ugly. Look at the box score. I tweeted it. Look at the box score of the Raider game. Yards, 434 to 95. First downs, 30 to 3. Time of possession, 42 to 18. Third downs, 0 of 7. 31 rip. This was an NFL game? This is a professional team? How can this be? And what's it going to take for you to make a quarterback change? They threw Pickett in there late. They didn't even try to get Gentry involved. I guess the comeback is they weren't on the field. 434 to 95 in an NFL game?
Yeah.
And they somehow beat the Patriots. And the Giants allowed 33 points in the fourth quarter after shutting out Denver. 26 to 8 with 5:30 left. And you lose the game. And the 2 missed extra points came back to haunt. Horrible job by Dable, the coaching staff, and everyone involved that you let that lead slip away and the silly penalties they had time and time again.
They went way too conservative on offense, and they went to prevent defense like the entire fourth quarter. Total nonsense.
Yeah.
By the way, on the Raiders, you're right, 31st downs to 3, and this is something I've never heard of before in an NFL game. The Chiefs, with those 31st downs, that's as many plays as Oakland or Las Vegas ran in the game.
Oh, God.
Never heard of that before.
That's brutal.
So,
Oh.
yeah, they're in everybody's ugly today. Mine, the Jets, they had 220 yards against Carolina. They're 0-7 on the year. I want you to think about this for a second. So I'll tie them in with another team here. But in week 2, they had 154 yards against Buffalo, 10 points. All those yards came late by Tyrod Taylor. They had 21 points in the fourth quarter against Tampa, otherwise did nothing. They were outgained by Miami 404 to 30. I'm sorry, they outgained Miami by 104 yards, but they lost. They scored 16 of the 22 points against Dallas in the fourth quarter. They had 82 yards and 11 points against Denver, negative 10 yards passing. So I'm tying them in with the Pittsburgh Steelers. How the hell did the Steelers give up 32 points to this team and 394 yards of offense? I can't take them seriously.
Yeah.
And this team, I know what you're saying about Tennessee. The Jets are going to be in the conversation here by the end of the year if they're not already for worst team in the entire league. And I don't even know how much worse they are than the Miami Dolphins, who are in my ugly as well. Now, it's rare that I absolutely love an NFL game when it comes to a point spread or money line, whatever. But I was so strong on Cleveland last week and betting them in this game because of countless reasons that I ran down in the show last week. So I watched every single play of the first quarter, being that invested, or the first half, I should say. Cleveland's not even that good. And that's Captain Obvious checking in. They didn't even do much in the game.
Right, yep.
Junkins broke a couple here and there.
Yep.
What I watched from Miami, I'd like to put that up next to what the Raiders were doing at the same time. They look completely lost. The unforced errors and penalties on defense, if you're a fan of this team or if you bet them, you just got to be pulling your hair out. They have no concept of what it is to be a football team or how to even play the sport. It doesn't look like they should even be in the league with that performance yesterday. So, yes, there's a lot of dreck in this sport. And I know the Titans and the Jets and the Raiders, but this team here can't be forgotten with how bad it is. And how does McDaniel, how is he coaching?
I can't believe it. He had to go. I can't believe Ross is still waiting. Before the line moves, the sharp place is already there. They don't just follow the market, they help move it. You're not going to outsmart billion-dollar books of full-time sharps on your own. The AI props picks are up 50 units. Powered by advanced AI and plugged into trusted insider sources, they deliver the edge serious bettors use every day. Free reports, alerts, and market-moving insights straight to your inbox or X feed. Transparent receipts, public logs, and documented results. SharpPlays.com. Stay ahead of the line, SharpPlays.com.
The great Ira Kaufman on the program coming up next has covered the Buccaneers for a long time. Agbuka's playing tonight. His prop it's up, 4.5 catches, 56.5 yards. Are they really going to be throwing the ball that much?
follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Busy hour on tap. We have to talk about tonight's Game 7, ALCS. That's coming up in 15 minutes. We'll expand on the Monday Night Football doubleheader as well. And that's how we're going to begin the hour as we head out now to the Progressive Guest Line. As the great Ira Kaufman joins the program now. He has covered the Buccaneers for a long time. JoeBucksFan.com. Ira, thanks for the time as always. How you been?
I've been good, my man. Next year's my 50th year in the business. 5-0. 5-0.
Damn,
I can't believe it.
That is impressive. Congrats on that, by the way. That's an amazing run that you've strung together. So as the week progressed, it felt like, maybe Emeka Egbuka actually might play in this game tonight. Well, lo and behold, here we are now. Kickoff coming up in about an hour. He's playing. Props are on the board. What is your reaction to this?
I'm as shocked as you are. You know, it appears that the Bucs are going to be pretty darn healthy for this game because Mike Evans is supposed to be a go. Now, Bucky Irving's not playing. He's out. There's no question about it. And that's a big loss on this offense. He's kind of the spark plug. But on defense, all of a sudden, you know, Dean's been there all season. And now McCollum's back. And, Morrison, the rookie, he's going to play. And the guy that they've been using, Kindle Vildor, he's inactive. So that tells you that they're going to have a full secondary. The two safeties have been there all year, Tyke Smith and, the great Antoine Winfield. So, the Bucs seem to be almost at full strength. Kalijah Cansey's out for the season. Nothing they can do. Gedicke's out for the season. They even got this guy, Michael Jordan, not the Michael Jordan, but he's a guard. And he was filling in for Cody Mount for a couple of games, and then he got hurt. And they had to use a guy named Haggard. And so now Jordan's back. He could be playing tonight. So the only offensive lineman that would be missing is Gedicke. So no excuses for the Bucs from a physical standpoint. However, having said that, I'm 6-0 picking Buck games this year, and I picked them to lose tonight. I'm still going with that.
Okay. Well, the thing that you have to like, though, is all these guys that are out on the defensive side for Detroit. Mayfield's has his issues against Detroit, and he has had problems in turning the ball over. But do you think they'll be able to move it in this game?
Well, they've been moving it all year.
Yes.
I mean, another new offensive coordinator, Josh Grizzard. They hired him from inside. He was a big help to Liam Cohn last year, and so they bumped him up, and he's done a good job. They're keeping teams off balance. They're averaging 28 points a game. And I'll tell you what, a very underrated for people that haven't seen the Bucs a lot in the last couple of years. And I didn't even know this about Mayfield. But, I didn't see him play a lot in Cleveland. He's got an incredible knack on 3rd and 7 and 3rd and 9 and 3rd and 14 last week of running with the ball and being very effective and generating first downs. He's run 22 times. He's got 11 first downs. He's averaging 7.2 yards a carry. I mean, that's nuts. That's a little less than Lamar Jackson when he was playing. And I didn't know that Mayfield was that mobile with that kind of pocket awareness. And, you guys know that when, a quarterback does that, it's really a dagger on the defense because everybody's covered. It's 3rd and 14. And he pulled off a 15-yard run last week against the Niners. It was the biggest play in the game.
Absolutely.
2 plays later, he threw a long touchdown pass to Tez Johnson.
If they win this game, is he your MVP so far? He might be your MVP right now, the way he's playing.
I don't think there's any question. I mean, they talked about cutting down on his interceptions last year, because he threw 14 or 16 interceptions. He's got one. He's got one in 6 weeks. And now playing a banged-up secondary in Detroit. Look, they're going to have to throw the ball tonight, the Bucs, because they ain't holding Detroit to 13 points. That's not going to happen. To me, the biggest challenge for Todd Bowles tonight is Jamar Gibbs on the swing passes, Montgomery on the little swing passes. They've had some problems stopping that. The first game of the year, 3rd play of the game, Bijan Robinson goes out in the right flat. There's nobody near him. he runs 50 yards with the reception, and that's been a problem in the flats all year. Levante David, while he's still good, very good, he's not 27 years old anymore, and sometimes it shows on Sundays. Sometimes.
Well, okay, so the Buccaneers, as we all know, they are elite at stopping the run. So I don't think it's going to be, great games here we're talking about for Jahmyr Gibbs on the ground, nor should it be a great game for David Montgomery. But based on the first 6 games, quarterbacks and opposing offenses can absolutely throw it on them. So like you were saying, right, Mayfield's going to have to score tonight. They're not going to hold him to 13 points. I'm guessing that you're expecting a big game here from Goff tonight.
I think the whole key when you play Jared Goff, the whole key, you got to make him uncomfortable. If you don't, he's going to slice you up, and he's got the weapons to do it. I mean, St. Brown's about as good as anybody, maybe a notch below Jamar Chase, but the guy's really, really good. He's got 6 touchdown catches already. LaPorta had an off year last year, but he's dangerous. When Goff's pressured, you can get to him. The problem is the Buck 4-man pass rush, it's not great. It's just not great. And Hassan Reddick, I'm sorry to say it, through 6 games, he hasn't been a factor. He just hasn't. I'm a little surprised. I thought the guy's very motivated to cash in next year with a contract, maybe with the Bucks, maybe with another team in free agency. And, he's got like 1 sack. And, he's dropping them into coverage. He's using them in a lot of different ways. So without the blitz, which Bowles is famous for, and he's very good at disguising it, but without that, I don't think they're going to get enough heat on Goff, and I think he'll be able to exploit them downfield.
How good is this team, and what are you thinking in terms of the future here? Like 1 seed, and also because the schedule's so easy down the stretch? Yeah, please.
Yes. In August, I had them at 11-6. Now, they won 9 games for Bowles. They won 8 games for Bowles. They won 9 games for Bowles. They won 10 games for Bowles. So I had that trend continuing to 11-6. I didn't expect them necessarily to get off to this kind of start. As you mentioned, the final 6 games, and look, Carolina looks a little bit better than we thought they were, and I think they got the Panthers twice. But they're playing Miami. They're playing the Saints down the stretch. It's a very favorable schedule for the Bucks in terms of seeding. I'd be shocked if they don't win the division again. Shocked. Atlanta showed itself to be very inconsistent last night. You don't know what the heck you're getting. They lost 30-0 to Carolina. Then they bounced back and looked good. And then last night, they scored 10 points. So I'm not counting on them. So I think the Bucks will win the division. I think they'll be 6-2 at the bye. Couple of tough games, the Rams, Buffalo, tough games. But then, I think they can cruise down the stretch and maybe be healthy. And that's why, to your original question, why would you kind of rush Mike Evans and Ibuka back in this game? It's a little baffling to me. But I guess they're going to trust they're going to trust the trainers. That they're going to trust them, and if the trainers clear them, they're going to play them. But to me, it's no catastrophe for the Bucks if they lose this game. No catastrophe.
No, agreed with that. Ibuka's props, by the way, for tonight, Ira, think about this for a second. 4.5 catches, 56.5 yards. That feels pretty high for a guy coming, with the hammy here.
It is, especially with Evans coming back. This guy, Tez Johnson, out of nowhere. I mean, a 7th-round pick. This guy light. He's got it rolling. He absolutely has it rolling. Morrison, the rookie corner out of Notre Dame, he played a couple of games, maybe week 3 and week 4, and he looked good. He looked good. He's a big, rangy corner, and he's going to split some time with Dean and McComb. He's going to get out there tonight, and I think he'll show a few things. And this, this Parrish kid they got in the 3rd round, he's playing nickel. He really looks good. So they got a really good secondary. If they could get heat on Goff, they could do some damage tonight. But I don't think they're going to get enough consistent heat on Goff, although the Lions have had some problems protecting him. Some problem.
Let's say they go 13-4. With all the injuries on both sides of the ball, how about Bowles Coach of the Year?
very, very strong candidate.
Yes,
I mean,
he is.
really strong. And of course, when he left the Jets, those final 3 years were terrible in New York. He won 10 games, year one in New York, and then, just nothing. And it's hard to win with the Jets. We all know that. It's been proven. It's hard. So I'd give him an asterisk on that. He got a second chance. Not that many guys get a second chance. And he's flourishing right now. Now, look, if Indy keeps rolling, and that's a lousy division, we all know that. It's a lousy division. Every time you think the Jags are something, they fall flat. I don't trust the Jags, and I don't think you do either. I don't trust Trevor Lawrence. He looked good against the Chiefs, and then when he needs to make a play, most times he can't make it. He just can't make it. And of course, they were winning a lot of games at Jacksonville early with the turnovers, and that's tough to keep up. It's tough to sustain that. They were picking balls off left and right with short fields. So, if Indy keeps rolling and Indy wins 12 games or 13, Steichen's going to be tough to beat. He's going to be tough to beat.
Well said.
And then, you might have Daniel Jones as the comeback player. The Colts, I mean, what a running back Taylor is. I mean, he's been fabulous.
Ira, we love talking to you. Thanks so much for the time. Enjoy the game tonight.
All right, buddy. Talk to you later. Thanks.
There you go. You can follow him on X at ikaufman76, joebucksfan.com. Game 7 ALCS should be a decent edge based on what happened last night, and there might not be home field advantage tonight. Tell you why next.